everybody. On today's episode of Madge Unmuted, we're going to talk about Billy and all the things that Billy hates that I do. I'm just kidding. And sex. Join us, won't you, on today's... Oh, here we go again. If you're only listening to the audio, go watch the video. I'm making obscene gestures. Anyway, cough, please. On today's episode of Madge Unmuted, come on in, the water's fine. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Madge Unmuted. I am your hostess, Madge, and with me, as always, we have my trusty producer, Fitz, and the lovely and talented Chris.
At least it wasn't rusty.
So guess what we're going to talk about today?
What?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, you don't know?
So I'm
is this a surprise day?
It's an open forum.
It's not like the Bachelor Forum,
But
right,
not
Chris?
at the forum.
Not
Not
at
that forum.
that
Like
forum.
the Penthouse forum.
Or not that one
Or
either.
that, or a funny thing happened on the way to
The forum.
forum. Oh,
Lots
we're
of funny
just
things.
full
Toga
of
party
piss and
anywhere?
vinegar today. Yeah, really. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to do like a follow-up to last week's episode. I have a couple of post-production notes. So first I got to tell you, it's funny. So John was listening, of course, as he always does, and then he's got to give me the critique afterwards.
Yeah.
But anyway, he says, "Oh, by the way, a smother box is." Do you remember talking about that?
Yeah. The Smothers Brothers. Yeah.
Yes, and we kind of thought, all of our guesses were like it was a Dutch oven.
Yeah, it isn't.
No.
Oh.
And he starts reading the what do you call it?
Wikipedia?
Definition, from online. It's a box that essentially
Smothers
it's for face sitting.
For face sitting.
So a guy, or I guess it doesn't have to
There's
be
a
a
little
guy,
seat?
whatever. It's a box that I'm assuming like
Box
the
for a
lid lifts
box?
up, whatever, and you put your head in, and it like there's this very secure place, and then you get locked in, and it holds your head right there,
up?
and of course there's a hole, and the person sits down.
On your face.
Oh, that sounds comfortable.
Hence the sitting and the face.
And the boxing and the... Oh.
Yeah, but he starts reading me the thing, and he's like, "Well, it's essentially for this." And then he goes, "But then there is a hole cut out, one on the side and one on the top, and then there is a fitted." I'm like, okay, I got it. I know. I don't need to know,
He's telling you how it's
mechanical
engineered.
engineering. Exactly. Look, dude, I get it. You have a degree in mechanical engineering, but frankly, I don't give a fuck. So, however, comma, I got it. That's about all I needed to know.
Oh,
And
my gosh.
I'm still not interested in it.
No. Did you have feedback from last week, or?
I had a little bit. I thought I was
Yeah.
going to have more,
I
but
thought it would be, I thought people were going to be all
I got
up
a
in arms.
shitload of views. Well, nobody. It's so funny because we're talking about the last episode, which was feet, wedgies, fetishes, and
Smother boxes.
OnlyFans
Smother
explained.
boxes.
Yes, and smother boxes. And nobody thought it was
Really?
offensive. However, I have like over 600 views on it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
With like nary a promotion. So
Nary.
and it's
Spank-
like far and away.
Spanktrovision.
Exactly. So so nobody complained, but apparently, remember when I asked about, oh, should I do like paid
Yeah.
content? Not
Crickets?
a peep. Yeah, crickets.
Yeah.
So
So maybe that's not in the
nobody
cards.
gives a shit.
You can
Yeah.
pry my $2.50 out of my cold
Right.
dead fingers every month.
Exactly. Well,
Maybe you need a Groupon.
it's the
Do they have that still?
I don't
the
know.
economy. Yeah, I'll put out a Groupon. How's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
No, I should start doing like the giveaways. Like if you share this with 2 people and like it and no,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll send you a cookie.
Yeah, exactly. Not my cookie.
Not your
Somebody.
cookies, no.
I hate when people use that word for
Cookie. Oh,
women's
cookie. Oh,
parts.
yeah.
That's just
no.
stupid. So anyway, the only
Cookie?
Yeah, it's like a Fig Newton.
it was
Or
more
Lorna
of a
Doone.
Oh, Lorna. Yes, Lorna. Or Dolly Madison.
or a goldfish. No.
No.
A Jolly
ginger
Madison.
Yes.
An opened cannoli.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh.
So
Cannolis is too
I
sweet
put
for
on the
me.
wrong-
I can't stand cannolis.
Oh, my gosh.
me neither. I hate cannolis.
Oh, you don't? Oh, I
Yeah,
love
way too
cannolis.
sweet.
Now I won't anymore. Now with
Sweet.
your description now. That's gonna,
Oh, sorry.
you ruined cannolis for me.
I know a kid in high school that used to use a cannoli. No, I'm kidding. So
jeez.
anyway,
But
So
I
anyway-
digress.
but you keep it all inside. So I did get a couple comments on YouTube about our, as always, wonderful wedgie people. I love
boy.
our wedgie community.
Yep, they
No,
are.
they're not
Yes.
bad. They've never been yucky.
They're not as uptight as they sound.
No.
Oh, no. What they said was I had a person with the handle Wedgie Wrestling. Hi, Wedgie Wrestling. Said I started the wedgie community in 1996 and own several wedgie platforms. So if there's anything you want to know about it, hit me up.
Nice.
Wait a
Maybe
second.
John could help
Wait
him
a second.
design
yank
his
me up.
wedgie platforms. Yeah.
The president of the United Wedgie Association just,
We represent.
but that's kind of cool. That's kind of like they have like their bots are out looking for all things wedgie.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
talk about, we're going to talk
guessing-
wedgies over here.
Because I put in all the right hashtags.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the wedgie hashtags.
Hashtag
And I'm going to do it
chafe.
again on this episode. Wedgie, 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 wedgie.
Why don't we
Do
just
the
call
bots pull out of your speech? Do they honestly do that? I mean, is it
Yeah,
like
if you
keywords?
do a transcript.
Keywords. Oh, I see.
Yeah. If you do if you hit the captioning, it
interesting.
creates the words below here.
Yeah, like
and
down here.
then it searches. So
Madge
that's,
Unmuted.
On wedgie.
that's what Madge Unmuted, and I'm going to keep it that way. Thanks, just the
Yeah.
same.
Spank you very
But
much.
I commented. I said, "That's really interesting!" Exclamation point! Thanks for letting us know. Is it a very large community? I asked.
I asked question mark.
And then Wedgie Wrestling then
Wedgie wrestling.
replied, over 100K
Members
community.
of the community.
Is it combined over several wedgie platforms of 100K or
Or is it all wedgie wrestling?
is it all wedged together?
Hey,
Did you investigate it all? Did you like
No, I haven't
schmoogle,
had time.
you know, like wedgiewrestling.com
I should have
or,
schmoogled it.
just to see. I mean, not that you want to see, but you know, just to,
I did once before do Google wedgie a little bit. Well, I know
Yeah.
I think I only did it on YouTube, and it was just
to wedgie
videos of videos of
people just getting
getting
their
and-
pants pulled up. Is that it?
their underpants.
Is it like wedging, like the old fashioned wedging, like where you
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that I just get the ick from that. Sorry,
doesn't-
people.
Yeah.
Not just
Well,
because it's
It's just not for
uncomfortable.
you.
That particular sensation is extremely uncomfortable. Like I said last time, I don't even want to wear a thong. So
Right. It's
the
one of those
thought
things you try to avoid. Most people do. Yeah. That
exactly.
like
Exactly.
the riding up. It's kind of like riding up.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
like you
God.
don't
See,
want that
now I
usually.
feel like I
You know,
gotta
like
I gotta
de-wedgie.
adjust. Exactly. So yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of talk.
So he's the president, or they
He
are the
is.
president of
He's
the
not just a client. He's the
Wedgie
president.
Guild.
Do you remember what that's from?
The hair
I'm
club,
not.
Cy Sperling.
Yes. Yes.
I'm a customer. Is that what he
I'm
says?
not
I'm a
a
customer.
client. I'm a. Well, maybe he did say
I'm
customer.
not just
I
the
thought he said.
president. I'm a client.
Yeah.
Right.
Either way, he said
Hair
it.
club for men.
Oh yeah. I'm not just the president. I'm a client.
But remember,
I got a rub.
Hi, my name is Cy Sperling, president of the Hair Club for Men. Do
For
you
men.
need more hair on your men head? I have the business for that.
On your man head.
On your man head.
It's kind of like how our president reads a script.
Oh God, he's a good reader. Very good reader.
Not.
He doesn't read. He makes it up as he goes along.
He is. I mean, I know you can tell when he's reading something, and it's
because it's like painful, more painful.
yeah. Yeah, and they're like, we really need when they say, we really need you to stay on script. I guess that's kind of a double or a catch-22. It's like you want him to stay on the topic, but his delivery is for shit because he.
You know what the worst
Some
thing
people
is?
just can't do that. Anyway,
No, I think reading a teleprompter would be very hard.
Well,
don't you?
reading
Yeah.
a teleprompter is bad. And you can tell, like when you see someone
Yeah.
who's not doing a good job and you see their eyes going, stuff
That's
like
what mine would be doing. I'd be like,
oh, you mean like, or a cue card? I mean, teleprompter cue card.
Yeah.
Like all the people on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
yeah, they always are looking off screen. It's like,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Could at least the cards
what
be
did you
behind the
say?
person they're talking to?
Why did you come into the room? I don't know. What? Tell me, can it be?
I know, which actually adds to the charm, sort of Saturday Night Live, but not to the presidency. No, that's not as charming.
No.
Have you ever been in
no.
a situation where somebody was giving a speech or something and it's kind of a small crowd or whatever, and the person giving the speech has a really bad speech impediment?
Oh,
No.
Oh my God. For someone like me, and probably you too, Madge, although
Yeah.
we're very empathetic and we really don't want to hurt anyone's
No,
feelings.
but it would be hard not
Our
to.
knee jerk is to laugh. So
Yeah.
when I was in high school, we had somebody who came to now I went to a Catholic high school. So
What happened?
this might explain why one of the directors of a local funeral home came to give a talk.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe we'll get some out of this crowd. I don't know.
Oh my God, was it one of those scared straight things?
No.
You could
They
end
would-
up like in this coffin if
This
you
could
don't
be you,
quit
kid.
drugs. Exactly. This
Do
use
your
your
math
brain on
homework.
drugs.
Oh,
No,
Okay,
she
why
came-
did they come to the Catholic high school?
I don't remember, but I think it was our theology class, and we were all in the library, which wasn't a very big library. We're all in there, and she just came to give us a talk about the T.M. Ralph Funeral Home.
Oh.
T.M. Ralph Funeral Home's a big funeral home in Fort Lauderdale area. They've been around for many, many years.
Okay.
But she had kind of a Elmer Fudd thing going. So it was the T.M. Ralph
Well,
Funeral Home. And it was the longest 45 minutes of my freaking life. And me and my friend and I
that
were
is
right up front.
oh, and you couldn't even.
And we were like, I swear it looked like I was going to explode.
Explode.
That's sad.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's after that, if I'm watching someone do a speech or something and they're having trouble with it, I could be okay with it. I'm like, I root for them. I really want. But once they start having, like, if there's something really unfortunately funny about how they talk, oh
Yeah.
God, it's the worst ever. It's the worst ever. I feel like such a piece of shit.
That's true. Oh, Speaking of speech,
Oh boy.
okay, Billy.
Soapbox time.
No, a friend of mine who I grew up with he lives in California and he's visiting town right now. And we were talking. Somehow we were out with a few friends, impromptu thing last night, and we're talking about my podcast. I don't remember how it came up, and he's like, honestly, I can't listen to your podcast because you get too into that. What did he call it? I can't remember, but he's like, that New York thing. Like, because sometimes when I get animated, I start doing the kind of this
New York
thing,
thing?
Oh yes, yeah.
and he hates that.
He does.
Wait, what New York thing?
Sometimes when
You
I
get kind of like a Brooklyn thing
I
going
get
on,
kind
or-
of a,
yeah.
oh my God, what do you think? And I
I don't
yeah.
know.
It's shtick.
I like it.
Exactly. That's what he said. And he's like, I know, I get it. And that you think, he's like, I'm sorry. It's just me, whatever,
I
and
would
was
tell
like,
him to go back to California.
Go back to North Dakota, pal.
Yeah, don't you know?
He was
See, your
honest.
voices are I love that, but that's just
Thank
me.
you. I mean, but it's true. You know what? I can relate. I mean, I was very sad that like one of my very best friends in the world said it to me, but he was honest.
Like-
Well, I think it was like, cause I asked him like, oh, did you ever hear this? Or did you listen to this? He's like, honestly, I can't. Sometimes you just get into
I just can't.
the
You know how when you do this thing where you say a word and then you say another word and then you say this other word and then you take a breath and you say another word? I just
I
can't
hate
take
that
it
part.
when
that.
you do that.
I hate that when
And
you
then
breathe in
this-
between your words and. Oh my
Well,
God.
I'll tell you though,
Thanks, pal.
I have a real sensitivity toward now I'm being very conscious of what my voice sounds like. Fuck that. So I'm very sensitive
That
about
lasted.
I know. I'm very sensitive about different tones and things.
Yes.
Like there are a couple women that I know locally that have that terrible. I can't even do this accent because it's a Buffalo or Rochester thing sometimes.
Nasally.
Where yeah, but it's everything is in the back of their throat too. It's a combination
It's a
of really
Midwest.
nasally. No. This is I remember this from growing up around here near Buffalo. It's a you've swallowed your voice. Well, it's part vocal fry, part yeah, I'm gonna go down to Loblaws and get some coffee.
Loblaws.
And, yeah, I mean, like, and oh my God, we're going down to the Beaver Club. Oh gosh, I can't even do it. See, that sounds too much like Minnesota.
Minnesota.
There's this
It's a
weird.
little Minnesota.
It's
Yeah.
this fine line. There's a fine line.
It's this.
But
I
it
mean,
is. It's.
Chris. You know what I'm talking
I
about.
totally know because
Yeah.
it is a nasally thing, but you're right. It's all from the back of the throat.
It's nasally, but then now they're combining it with that vocal fry. Do you know what that is?
I don't.
It's like how the Kardashians talk.
Well,
like
you know
it's
what?
back
That's
in
like
the-
it's sort of a Valley Girl
Yes.
thing too. And I heard some lady talking the other day in the store, and I was like, she can't be from
It's-
California.
it's
She can't. I mean,
actual-
she
it's-
acts like she was like, it's like
right.
that as
I
if.
think
And,
that like it's this cadence, but then it's also got this timbre to it in the
Yes,
back.
yeah, like kind of a-
and
yes,
it's called,
that's exactly
it's
it.
actually called
vocal
a
fry.
low vocal fry.
Interesting.
And
I,
it's
I saw
annoying.
I
Chocolate
saw
shake.
something about it on TV where they said it's like so pervasive that people just they just go into that all the time.
Yeah,
that-
right.
yeah.
I mean, it's like, and I get like I do, like I slip into this
You
thing, but it's
have
like,
a lot of voices, but they all mean something different. Well, I love the way
Right.
it's like a
Oh,
you almost
thank
assume
you.
a character when you're telling a story or something. It's like a
oh, okay, yeah, I like.
No,
to
that's
put-
the way I sort of see it.
I kind of get into the moment,
yes.
and then I guess it's just funnier when, but it's like also that's how my mother used to talk.
Yeah.
Not real heavy. My mother was from Bethlehem, PA. So she had she used to have a little bit of the Philly area accent and not heavy. I mean, it went away after she moved to Dunkirk with my dad, but it was, when she would get loud, she would be, like, my God, what do you think I'm doing?
Right.
Like, so I don't know. I
Well,
just
and then you also went to school in Maine, and that's a whole
I went to school in Maine. I used to work in the all girls Jewish camp from all the kids from
so you pick up some of that because
Manhattan.
every once in a while
like,
you get a little Jewish. Everybody gets a little Jewish.
and I think that was part of the thing that Billy described was nebbishy. And I'm like, that's rude. But so I don't know. Whatever. Go fuck yourself. This is
Billy.
how I talk. And and I
Don't
actually
be a hero.
I know. When I go, what the fuck was I going to say? Oh, when I was in college for broadcasting, I had to take a speech class because Fitz, you'll remember back in when we were growing up, it probably stopped around the 90s, that everybody on radio had the
Middle
professional
America.
radio
Yes.
voice.
And you have to enunciate and you have to,
Yes,
but there's
and I
also that
had that.
delivery, that cadence of speech. Yeah.
There was actually learning to speak correctly like that. See, I'm slipping into that right now. It was,
Yes. And over enunciating and
I had a,
You must
my
concentrate on
thing-
your diction.
Yes, what the thing
try.
I was doing was,
me?
she said the Western New York thing of clenching your back teeth. And I didn't realize that. So her way of trying to correct that, she would take people that had that issue, she would slice a wine cork in half and you
and put it
put
in
it
the
on each side and it would open up the back of your, so you would have,
It's not my back
See, you
teeth
can hear
I'm clenching,
I
baby.
know, right?
you can hear my TMJ popping.
It is
pure
interesting
anyway-
though when you listen to
ASMR.
a news broadcast, they all speak exactly the same. There's this cadence of their speech and that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then
I always think it's funny when the women do that.
Yeah.
So this time the man came into the store and this time he said hello.
that's Rachel Maddow.
Yes. Right. Exactly.
That's how she speaks. I don't know. And it came when it became to be like in the 90s and people started like Howard Stern was, really famous. I mean, he had kind of the radio voice, but then he also had the heavy New York thing. And then, you look at Wheeze. Good Lord. He
same
certainly
thing.
never
Yeah.
had
Jesus.
Wheeze on Rochester radio. He has like the world's worst voice.
Seriously.
But I think after a while, it just became
It didn't matter
more,
with him. He was always a
Right.
personality and that was not being a broadcaster.
Right.
It was a different thing.
and that's what it,
Like a
and
news
then
broadcaster.
it started being more about personalities and it was okay. And also talk radio became really popular. It wasn't real popular when we
But
were.
if you know how when you watch like the movies or even the old newsreels from like the 30s and 40s and even the early 50s and into the 60s, the people had that kind of
And then the
talk where, hey,
70s,
we're going to
and then
go,
the 80s.
we're going to walk into the, and especially when you watch it back now, you even hear some of that get later, like you said, into the 70s and stuff. But that was back in the early days of Hollywood and radio and all that stuff. That was it was the Middle Atlantic.
Yeah, I was just going to say it was the Middle Atlantic, and
Yeah,
I
that was like
actually
what they
read
taught.
I read a couple of articles on how that developed, where it came from, and all that. And I don't remember why it started. I don't know. It just
It was pervasive.
school.
It was
We all went to
pervasive
prep
and
school,
yeah.
and that's how we had to talk.
Yeah. Oh my God, Fitz.
Like
speaking
Thurston
of it,
Howell. I love her.
John and I started watching a movie Saturday night, and we turned it on, and it comes right to the scene of, and she stepped on the ball, or I stepped on the ball, whatever it is, and I was like, oh my God. And he's like, what? And I'm like, Fitz and I said it a couple times on a prior
Good old
podcast.
Trading Places.
Yep,
That's in a
Trading
couple of other
Places.
movies too that they make reference to that too. I can't remember what it's from.
Oh, really?
I think
don't
it's
know.
in other.
Excuse me. Hi.
Got a wedgie?
No, you will
And
laugh.
she
I'm
sat
wearing.
on the ball.
He sat on the ball. And
Sorry.
I was no. What had happened was, I have this really crappy seat. That's
A crappy seat?
just
That's
like
what happened.
yeah. No, the back of the seat is
Oh.
only about like this wide, and I'm wearing these high-waisted pants, jeans today, and that the bottom of this is
Got
right
caught?
at the
Oh,
at
it's
the waist.
clipping
It keeps
the edge of
getting-
your pants, so
keeps
it's like
getting
you're
caught.
sticking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like every time I move, then I go, "Ugh, I can't.
So
I
it's
get
like a
stuck."
wedgie chair, sort of.
It is.
Yeah. Nice.
No, that's not nice.
That's not it. Well, I was
Just hold me back,
I was
man.
trying to speak to our president of our wedgie association.
so.
So
the
I really
wedgies.
thought last week's show would have been just like I thought your inbox would have just blown up with.
Me too. It's
Stuff,
been a long
you know.
time since my
'Cause
inbox
that-
has been blown up.
Oh. Oh.
We'll talk to John about that.
No, I don't
No,
want it.
don't. You know.
You know what? I swear to God, I was just talking to a friend of mine, a couple of friends. I'm like, I am like so. I used to be really, I used to be very
Loose.
kind of sexual person and loose. Fuck you.
I'm
and
just
I, well,
kidding.
okay, yeah, no, after
It was such a delay after I said it. I'm like, she didn't hear me.
well, there
You were
is a
kind of
little
a
bit
whore,
delay.
actually. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade.
I mean, there was a long time that I was divorced that I didn't have a boyfriend. It was probably like 8 years, and well, no, I always had an appetite, shall we say, and I was always,
Nom, 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 nom.
I wanted.
You're like Cookie Monster.
Ew, please don't ever make that sound again when I'm talking about sex. But and so. But
so-
no,
I didn't have the Cookie Monster drop, but I wish I did.
Yeah.
when I'm almost 60 years old, and I never thought it was like going to go away. Boy, has it gone away.
Boy, howdy. Yeah.
Boy, howdy. Boy, and how. And like I was telling a friend of mine, like if John and I are done, it's like the Maginot Canal is like getting shut down. It's getting closed.
Until it gets
Gates
taken over.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm selling it back to the Panamanians.
Panamanian, not Palestinians. Yeah, right. Panam.
I'll send it to the highest bidder. Hong Kong, whatever.
Well,
I
at
know
least you
that
got
was-
to. At least you got
At least
to
you
60.
used it while you could. Yeah.
I
right.
did. And
Now
I
the canal's
birthed
closed.
through birth
Low
three
bridge,
children.
everybody down.
Some people I
Because
know
we're coming
kind
to
of.
your town, or
Yes,
Sway
right.
town.
Some people I know lost that love and feeling in their 30s.
Oh boy.
That was
You've
fun.
lost.
Really? Or was it just you?
No,
Or
no,
was
Kidding.
it you?
Sorry.
no, no.
Oh, no.
No. No.
No.
Operational reasons. So
Oh.
the physiological chemicals that make that happen were gone, which is similar to what's happening to you now or has been happening. It happened, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But
You had a good run, Madge.
Oh, I did. I had Iron Man status.
While it lasted, you did your
There's
best.
statues. There's statues in honor.
I did. They're erected in my honor.
Ah, nice. Oh my gosh.
No, that is the thing though. Like I've asked John this question, and I swear to God, he probably thinks I'm like planning something. But there's been times where I said to him, just like, what would you do if I didn't want to have relations anymore. And he'd like, you know, deal with it.
Hot enough
I'm like, would you
relations.
stay? And he's like, yeah. And because there's one of my TLC shows, 90 Day Fiance, the one woman, her husband stopped sleeping with her because he said that she wasn't nice to him. So it's so stupid.
Wait, she wasn't nice to him, so he stopped sleeping with her?
Yeah. And all she did was, you know, complain about sex and say, "Oh, Gino, I want sex." You know, you wanted to, whatever. I think the guy is closeted, quite personally, and I think yeah, because his reactions when she does try something, even like to be affectionate, he'll go like, "No, don't stop."
And you're like,
That's not a natural reaction.
not so
Yeah.
much.
So anyway, but now anyway, apparently she's pregnant with somebody else's baby. So I guess that ended. Because you know they film those things.
Way in
Like,
advance. Yeah.
Wait, yeah. So anyway,
Gino.
but you know he wouldn't sleep with her, and she's like in her late 30s. He's like 52,
Oh boy.
3, 4, something like that. That might be part of the problem. I don't know. But oh, because she's always making jokes about little blue pill. So maybe that is, but it's also but it's also maybe the other thing I was talking about. That's not what gets him excited. She's
Right,
on the
yeah.
wrong team.
That
So
could be.
anyway, so yeah. So like their whole storyline, the whole season is about Jasmine and Gino. She's from Panama, so she knows
She knows the
whereof I
canal.
speak.
Sure.
Exactly. Not the Magina personally, but you know. Anyway,
Magina.
so she then she keeps saying, I want to have an open marriage. And she talked to a therapist who talks to people who are in open marriages, and it's like ethical non-monogamy or some bullshit. You know, it's like, okay, you're in an open marriage. Why do they have to rename everything all the time?
Right.
Just like fucking good Lord, like that somehow takes away a stigma or some shit.
Like sudden rapid disassembly when the rocket blows up.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Sudden rapid disassembly.
That's what they said on the news the other day. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. In other words, it's not assembled anymore, I guess. But jeepers.
Exactly. It disassembled explosively and quite aggressively.
That was, yeah. That was.
So anyway, going back to these people. So she's saying, you know, she wants to get her needs met. Like, I know when I was in my late 30s, I got divorced at 35, and I was like, so I had to drive as long as the day is long. So anyway,
It's a lot of length.
yeah, that is a lot of double length. You could fold that in half. Anyway, so you can, of course. So they were talking about, you know, about how one person has a need, another person doesn't have a need, and do you have a right to get those needs met, or should you just stop because your partner
'Cause you're
and yada
over it.
yada. Right. So you know, I think about that. Not, you know, for me personally, but it's like, yeah, because I mean, look, I'm almost 60 now. I've heard every story in the book. You know what I mean? You've heard so many people's stories over the years of them getting divorced, or, you know, people cheating or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, and it's always like, oh, she wouldn't sleep with me anymore. So, you know, I had to go get it somewhere, or blah, 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 whatever. People always talking about one person wants it, the other
Yeah,
person
because
doesn't.
that's what
I mean,
drives the whole world, basically, is sex, don't you think? I mean, pretty
Pert near, yeah, pretty much. So, but what do you do? Because like when I was married, this is TMI, but whatever, I don't care. When I was married, I I had 3 little kids under the age of 5. My kid, when my youngest was born, my other kids were 2 and 5.
Yeah. So
So
You had
And then
stuff
I
to
stayed
do.
at home. I was like constantly had somebody, on the boob or wanting to be picked up or tugging or crying or whatever. I had people and like, yeah, I didn't want a whole lot of relations. And I was basically told by the therapist, well, if you want this to work, whatever, basically I had to pretty much force myself to
Yeah.
give my husband what he wanted when it was the last thing in the world that I wanted. And I mean, I get it, trying to balance out your needs, but like, yeah, when you just don't want it. You have to make yourself want it, do it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, how
What
does
was
that
that
work?
grunt
Anybody
for?
down in the
No,
comments,
that's horrible. That's horrible.
But but
you don't
then
want to do
also
it.
Yeah.
on the other, right, you don't want to do it, but then there's a person on the other end that like wants it every day.
Right.
And you're like, no, look,
I mean, I'll do every other
no.
day. I'll compromise. It doesn't have to be every day.
No, but like I've known people.
It's a quarter,
Well,
it'd be
shoot, I was in a relationship that I didn't have any for the last 3 years I was in it, and it wasn't my choice. But and that person isn't getting any, and the other person's not going to give it up. So are you in? I mean, I guess traditional, monogamy marriage says you got to do what your partner wants. You know what
I mean, I
If
think
you're
that's
not,
probably there's a give and take there for sure.
right. If you're not getting it, then you'll just have to get it. Do yourself. Get it from yourself.
Just be self-reliant.
Exactly. And then, or the other, like you want
Or
to keep
the
your
other
husband, you
aspect
got to
of it is
force
just-
yourself. Yeah, that guy, by the way, he's passed on now, but he was the worst fucking marriage counselor in the world. He was awful. He's basically telling me that the reason why my ex-husband was an angry alcoholic, and then I was the reason why he went and started having an affair with a woman at work.
Oh my God. Well,
Seriously, this guy said that you were the reason.
Yeah. Yep.
you're like, thanks.
Because
guy.
I wasn't giving him
You got a
what
mail
he needed.
order fucking degree. Jesus.
Yeah. But I later, it was a guy in Rochester, and later I heard around town, like from other counselors and people, they're like, oh God, yeah, he was the worst. And I don't know why
Yeah, that's
anybody,
not-
all the
that's not-
guys wanted to go
Oh my
fuck
God.
over the women in
'Cause
the
he was
relationship.
just like, it's your fault.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was like right out of the 1952 playbook.
Oh my God.
You must come, greet your husband in a
Yes, with a cocktail and a dress
cocktail
and
and
perfume
a
and
sexy dress, and you must do your wifely duties every night. Yeah. So
Those
anybody,
days are over.
right? If anybody wants to comment down in the comments about this whole imbalance of sexual desires thing, or even if you have a story and you want to be like anonymous, DM me or something. Although if you DM me from like your Facebook profile, you won't be anonymous.
But we're not going to share it. It's not like we're going to go, Mrs. Jones,
Right.
that Mrs. Jones.
Right.
Yeah.
Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones. She's got a thing.
She's got a thing going on. Yeah.
Going on. Oh, she fits right into this segment, doesn't she?
Yes, right.
So anyway, yeah. Anybody else got
my
anything to say
gosh.
about that?
Oh no.
Put it down in the comments.
Yeah. Leave a little comment down there for us.
Yeah,
In the
leave
comments.
a comment in the comment section. Is that just kind of an impediment you were talking about?
Yes, right.
By the way, you know what that
would have been an improvement.
This actually has a name to it. It's called a lateral lisp.
Is it?
It's called a lateral lisp.
Because it goes lateral.
My middle child had it when she was young.
Really?
And when they finally realigned, when she had
aligned her.
braces, yeah, then it fixed it. She says, I still have a little bit. And I was like, I do not hear
you're
it
fine.
at all. Because we used to, when she was a kid, we lived in Colorado, there was a park right across the street, and it was called Spring Gulch.
Gulch.
So yeah, I said it's Spring Gulch.
It was a wet park.
Now
was
every
a water
once in a
park.
while,
Water park.
every splash pad. Every once in a while, we bring up Spring Gulch. And that's my story. And I'm
Scene.
sticking to it.
Right.
See?
Insane. No wonder Billy doesn't listen to this damn podcast.
I know. What
Oh,
the fuck,
Billy.
Billy? Now I'm just gonna really talk like this, so he
There's
doesn't
no
ever listen
business
again.
like
Like show business. There's no business. I know everything about it. It's appealing.
Little soft shoe.
Exactly.
Ta-da-da.
It's the It's the Ethel Merman show.
Oh my God.
Look, I look
Extra
like I'm wearing
value
like
is what
you get when you buy corn.
corn.
That was Rosemary Clooney.
It was. That's,
Look, I'm wearing like
George
this
Clooney's
sweater.
aunt,
It looks like a mesh
Rosemary.
see-through.
It does.
You're right.
Luckily, you got a
I look
brassiere
like
on.
Madonna in
sling.
the. Yes, exactly. Well, I have a what do you call it? A camisole.
Camisole.
A
Oh,
camisole and a brassiere. I look like Madonna back in the
Madonna.
Like starbright.
Where's your rubber bracelets? None today, huh?
I not none today.
None today.
None such. So yeah, there you have it. I'm supposed to have a guest next week,
Oh.
and the motherfucker better not
Mofo.
bail
Honky
on me.
mofo.
It's one of my. I had him on the first
It's not
season.
Billy, is it? Because
No. You know, and he's in town. I should have had him on today.
you should have had him and say, listen, listen,
Yeah.
we'll talk properly the whole time,
Now
Billy.
see here,
William.
You know what? I should have him when he gets back. I'll
Yes,
have
William,
him on
we'll
Zoom.
speak correctly the whole
Yes,
time.
we will.
Yes.
William,
We'll talk. William
fuck
wants a
yourself.
doll.
No, I'm kidding. William wants a doll.
Yes.
I don't know what happened to my "Free to Be You and Me" album.
I know they're gone. They're all dead.
Oh, I had that album.
Did you?
I have no. Yeah, don't know what
That
happened
would
to
be
it.
that'd be
My
good. Some,
parents
some
probably
good
threw it
bumper
out.
music, wouldn't it? Well,
It would.
Yeah.
William wants a doll. Remember what was the song that Rosie Greer sang? Something about crying.
It's all right to cry.
Yeah,
Crying gets the sad out of.
that out of you.
Yeah, it's all right to cry. It might make you feel
You
better.
feel better.
Yeah, better, Billy. You'll feel better. Oh, Billy.
Of course, you know all the words. Oh my God, I love you so much. Anyway, no, a friend.
Do you know Fitz? Do you know Free to Be You and Me?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
Oh,
That was he
it was
before
a
his
little
time.
before your time.
Yeah,
After
so
your I don't know,
Just-
something.
You just split
was
us up.
before
You
his
split up the
time.
team.
Oh no.
Good job.
Okay, we'll talk about things from the 80s
Oh,
when
sorry.
you were born.
I was born in the 70s. But thanks.
We were born in the. Oh, it's 50s. That was a Police song.
Oh, 50s, yeah.
I was going to mention something real quick, and now I can't remember. God
Damn
damn
it.
It's that.
Yeah. Oh no,
it's
my
that
guest next week.
perimenopause.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm
who's your
post.
guest? Do we know, or
I'm
can't you
post.
alert us?
I'm post.
Post like post toasties.
Menopause. Yeah. He's a repeat offender from season 1. He was your favorite prom king. Rich Corsi is his name.
Corsi.
The pride of Columbus, Ohio. Now,
Nice. And
he's
he's going
supposed
to be
to.
a remote guest, or is it he's going to be a
Yeah, oh yeah,
Dunkirk
remote.
guest?
Yeah, remote.
I don't know,
So
maybe if he was in the basement or something.
no. Although I have a setup now, I could have someone.
You
sitting
could
next to me.
sit side by side. Yeah.
Side by each. Yeah, hey, that's what they say here in Dunkirk.
Side by each.
Yeah. There's a lot of all these old Polish sayings that people say, like that side by each, and I think it's how the Polish language translated to English that
Yeah.
it was it didn't quite make sense. So they're side by side or next to each other.
Yeah.
Came out in from Polish as side
each.
by each. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, because there was another one is they would always say, "Who is she from home?"
What the hell
Which
does that
means, what's her maiden name?
Oh, from home.
mean? Who is she from home?
Yeah.
If someone
so
said
back
that to me,
home-
I'd be like,
I know these are
You're
Dunkirk.
like, what?
who are we talking about? Where did you
Dunkirk has
live?
its own vernacular.
Yeah.
You know, and then when you want to, you got to pay $1.380 for something.
$1.380. Yeah, exactly. Is that Hitler behind you in the picture?
No, it says
I can't
it says,
see from here.
Is your washroom breeding Bolsheviks?
Oh, it looks like kind of Hitler.
look-
Doesn't it look like Hitler a little bit?
Well, he's just got some schmutz on his mouth.
Oh,
It's a shadow.
I see now. I thought that was a mustache.
It's a Scott
Nice.
Tissue advertisement from the
value.
50s, you know, the Cold War thing.
Scott
And
Tissue.
my son had it. He bought it when he started at NYU. He bought, he saw, that was like on a blanket on the street, guy selling these prints, and he bought it. And when next time I went to see him and I looked at it and I'm like, I gotta have that. Cause you know how I love mid-century modern
It's awesome. Yeah.
shit. So,
Yeah.
so anyway,
Pennsylvania.
don't forget to subscribe to Madge Unmuted so that you know what the hell's going on next week, or if there is a next week. And
Wow.
no, I mean, you know, in case I'm taking a vacation.
Should I go get some
or,
toilet paper and bottled water?
You know,
Can't afford that.
That's true.
no.
Shut up
whatever,
about the
who
eggs.
cares?
I'm gonna make you
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah. Rich.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
gonna
it. That was
give
the
you
context. Yeah.
millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Yes, right.
By the way, real quick, have you been watching Saturday Night Live lately?
I haven't watched
The
Saturday Night
la-
Live in 20 years.
Not even the
The
50th?
last okay,
Oh, I didn't.
just get on YouTube and look up the cold opens from the past couple of
Funny.
weeks.
As
You've seen them?
yes.
Mike Myers as Elon Musk.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hilarious.
He's really good at it.
He's really good.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. Thanks, Chris and Fitz. Love you guys as always. And we'll see you next week on the next episode of Madge Unmuted. Bye.